Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Green. You're watching Greenwave TV, alternative media television live. Thank you for joining us. So this is really great news. This is incredible. I mean, this is something to sing songs about and call your neighbor up and get your family members in the room, to make a public announcement. Because war with Syria is now imminent. War, let me repeat that, war with Syria is now imminent. So this is just fantastic. The American people really just should be excited about this. And I can see a lot of Americans really stoked to go over to the Middle East. And, we're already over in Iraq and Afghanistan and Libya and these other places, but now we get to go fight and die in Syria for oil. Isn't that a sexy proposition? Like, come on here, little 17-year-old. Yeah, you the guy that can't find a job because the economy's so shitty, that's been displaced post the 2008 financial crash and the massive bailouts. You with the poor credit, who lost his home in foreclosure or his business in bankruptcy, so we could prop up the elites. So we could prop up the big banks, the Jamie Dimons of the world, the John Thanes of Merrill Lynch with their golden toilets. You, I'm talking to you. Come on and join the army. There's a new war in Syria to get behind. So this is great. Spread the news. I mean, literally, you should be a town crier right now. Get your cowbell out. Get to your churches and your local townships, the grocery store, movie theaters, anywhere people get together, parks, and get on your pedestal and share the good news about America and our upcoming invasion of Syria. Yeah, this is wonderful. Reminds me of the movie Team America, F yeah, which, had perfect timing. Post the September 11th terrorist attacks. The search for Osama bin Laden, Donald Duck, Santa Claus, the fictitious guy in the sky. So this is what we're looking at, and this all came on the heels. And it's really interesting because it's getting to the point where I've done this for so long now that we're actually talking about stories, and I'm putting videos up before the news cycle even hits. Heck, who knows? Maybe we're contributing to the news cycle at this point. Just in recent months, we've been featured on Anderson Cooper's CNN. I had a friend call me. He's like, hey, Christopher, you're on Anderson Cooper. I'm like, really? I didn't know that. We were also on CNBC. We were included in a documentary called Rise of the AR-15. So who knows? Heck, we're probably influencing the news cycle now. They probably watched my video I put out earlier titled Bill Clinton Encourages War with Syria. And basically, this is what makes it official here, because when Bill talks, when Bill speaks, especially when he speaks to the Democrats, as my grandfather used to like to call them, he used to wear this shirt where it showed, and it said, this is the Democrats' perspective. And it was a guy with his head up his ass. I loved my grandpa. Rest in peace, Grandpa. Knew what was going on, byproduct of the Great Depression, knew what it was to be an American, loved his country, loved his family, ass kicker, hard worker. But, when Bill Clinton speaks, the lying son of a bitch that he is, shoving cigars up Monica Lewinsky's schwang, doing God knows what, getting BJs in the White House. Not that there's probably anything wrong with getting a BJ. I mean, hey, I'm not against BJs. I'm sure none of you out there are. But, it kind of works better in a loving relationship, a.k.a. marriage. I don't know how good it is to be cheating on your wife, Hitlery. Hey, Monica, come over here. I need a BJ. These are the lying scumbags, pieces of shit that, stood in front of a camera and defined what is. I mean, these are the pricks running the show. Hillary 2016. And I mentioned in the video, Bill Clinton, by telegraphing this, what he's doing is he's making it okay among the political narrative, because Obama's clearly been prepping for this war for years. For years. In fact, if you're a new subscriber, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun for you because I've got about at least over 1,000 videos for you to go through the backlog, check out, see the dozens and dozens of videos that I put out all around the 2008 financial collapse that said, war with Syria is coming. A new war in the Middle East. People are like, bullshit. You don't have a crystal ball, which I don't. But it's not even a prediction. It's just a direct consequence of what's happened. And so it was just an inevitability that we'd be in Syria. You know, Obama would, killing more people. Mr. Nobel Peace Prize is going to run us into Syria now to murder more innocent civilians. Isn't that great? And you notice how it's a smoke screen now. It's a quick diversion. It's like, oh my God, the entire world's eyes is on the NSA, the CIA, wiretapping, the surveillance program, Benghazi, et cetera, et cetera. Well, let's create a diversion now. We know we need to go to Syria. By the way, Bilderberg just met, so I'm sure they confirmed it there. They're like, hey, Bob, this Syria invasion's coming in a few days, right? So, you know, that's where we are. A new war. I mean, this is great news. Again, you know, maybe I'm the only town crier out there, but celebrate. Celebrate war times. Do. Celebrate. Celebrate war times. Come on. Do. You know, my room is completely wiretapped too right now, by the way, and you know, the NSA and Obama always looking for key words like war, terror, September 11th, assassinates, Allah. In fact, there was a joke video put out, sent to us on Facebook. You guys should check it out. It's pretty funny. I think I saw a mirrored version of it sent to me by one of our subscribers. So thank you, subscriber. I can't remember your screen name specifically, but you know who you are. And it was basically joking that in order to confuse the surveillance state and in order to confuse the establishment and the algorithm that is clearly at the disposal of these crazy people at the top. I mean, honestly, these people are crazy. These people are satanic. They're insane. They're warmongers. They're power hungry. They're shoving cigars up Monica Lewinsky's schwang. You know, infidelity, lies, corruption, murder, stab their best friend in the back to rise to the top. This is sacrifice thousands, millions of people, have no problem writing you off, have no problem you going overseas to die for their stupid cause. You know, it's not our cause. That's the thing. I mean, they're going to try to sell the whole idea, which they've been, you know, crafting for much of the past few months, but really for several years now about like, oh my God, Bashar al-Assad. Bashar al-Assad is such a dictator. He's using sarin gas. So let's go over there and kill people. Like that makes any sense. So let me get this straight. We've got a supposed independent sovereign nation, which we have no business putting our big noses in the first place, but we are anyways because they got what we want, oil, and we want to control the region. So we're basically just saying, F you, Middle East. We're going to take your shit from you because we're America, baby, and we want your friggin' oil. We want our big SUVs, and we want to control natural resources, and because we're America, we're just going to do it. Ha ha ha! The spoiled kid on the block. George Carlin always used to talk about. A guy that I loved, a comedian that I thought was a genius. I remember in the backdrop towards the end before he passed, and I honestly shed a tear when George Carlin passed, or at least I did in my heart, but he had the backdrop of a graveyard. And you could just see it in his eyes. He knew this shit was over. He knew America was done. He knew we were finished. And it's exactly where we are today. Finished. There is no friggin' America. I saw the head of Fox News. I can't think of his name. What is it? Ailes or whoever the guy was speaking yesterday. And he was, you know, basically just talking about, you know, the greatness of Fox and how they're this independent company of journalists, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm not even dirtbagging them really that hard. You know, at least they've put out some stories on the IRS scandal, Benghazi, gotten the dialogue started a little bit. At least there's some kind of counterpoint to the over-aggressive,
and overt liberal mainstream media bias. I mean, at least we got something. Of course, you know, little guys like me are now taking over, of course. The little guy, the groundling, working his way up through the trenches, baby. That's right. So, you know, he was talking about that, you know, America isn't finished, but, you know, there's a big hole in the boat and it's sinking fast and we got to patch it up and the mast is broken. Honestly, no. No, that's not the equivalent. Where America is we're at the bottom of the ice-cold sea. We're the Titanic, you know, where Rose was hanging on to Leonardo DiCaprio, and she's like, no, no. And Leonardo, you know, and he's like got perfect hair, and he's sinking like, I'm melting. That's where we are. At the bottom of the sea, being eaten by the sea creatures that roam. You know, just kind of canvassing all of the American bodies. All of us dead people, just kind of eating their way. You know, chipping off skin off our faces. That's where America is. It's not, oh, you know, we can still turn it around. No. There would need to be aggressive changes. And, you know, honestly, we got to really consider, you do, the American people, have to consider the implications of the reckless actions of these SOBs, of President Barack Insane in the membrane Obama, and his aggressive totalitarian police state that he's playing with his handlers right now that control him. Because there will be consequences, dire consequences. And honestly, I fear the day when in retaliation one of these terrorist groups or maybe the United States government decides to blow up an entire American city, decides to wipe out Washington, D.C., Boston. You thought they were in martial law with the bombing scare? Wait until the retaliation hits. And I fear that. I fear that day, God forbid. Hopefully it never happens. But you know what? America, in a large respect, what do you expect when you're drone striking villages and killing children and dismembering people and invading independent sovereign countries to steal their shit? Because you want it. Because you're a gang banger. That's what America is. The biggest gang banger on the block. You know, I've got more respect for the mafia. I've got more respect for the Godfather, who at least played by a set of rules. Ran a little bit of a business of respect. There is no respect. No, you have the leeches and the snakes turning on each other. And they're coming straight for each other's necks. It's the Wild West of corruption, baby. And that's what we're dealing with in America today. So mark my words, America, and I'm not a genius, but mark my words, and I've been preaching to the choir for 4 years on this war in Syria, much to the dismay of many Americans. Like, Christopher, you couldn't possibly know if we're going to invade. You have no idea. This is the greatest country in the world. We're going to work through our problems of the financial crash. That's right. These bankers have our best interests at heart. Well, here we are. June 13th, 2013, ready to kill more people. Another war. Another Obama war. Again, this is the guy that gets the Nobel Peace Prize. There couldn't be a more diametrically opposed, ridiculous juxtaposition of awards to the actual person who he is, what he's physically doing, and what he's being awarded for. So this is World War III here, people. You know, what do you think we've been talking about for 4 years? This is it. This is it right here. War with Syria. Being encouraged. Green light from the Clintons, baby. Green light. He says Obama would be a wuss and a total fool not to engage Syria. Not to attack them. Not to invade. This is politics. This is how they kind of spin it. They give Clinton, who honestly has more power than Obama in a lot of ways in swaying public opinion. I mean, it's the same reason they had him speak at the Democratic National Convention, which, by the way, Clinton Bill, you know, Cigar Bill, you know, Fist Monica Lewinsky Bill, hates Obama, by the way. Does not like Obama. Doesn't like him at all. I mean, he's said enough in public. I can't imagine what he says behind closed doors about Obama. I wouldn't want to hear it because it definitely wouldn't be a Christian commentary. I mean, it's incredible, but it was one of the reasons they had him speak at the DNC, because of his power and his allure. I mean, it's literally like, Satan speaking. People are just like, oh my God, he's so charismatic, and wow. And you know what he is? Bill Clinton is extremely charismatic. Listen to him speak. Listen to him speak. He's got a gift, but not from God. I don't think so, at least. I think it's a gift from the other side. I think it's a gift from down there. I think it's a gift from the dark side. Yeah! Dark side Bill Clinton! Oh! I got a lot of energy today. But this is it. War. Syria. Get ready for it. Create the diversion. Create the smoke screen. And honestly, if humanity in America is the victim in all this, that's the point. That's the point for these people. So this is being green-lit. And of course, this is also an endorsement by Hillary Clinton. And by the way, when Bill Clinton agreed to speak at the DNC, the only reason he agreed to do it, because again, he hates Obama, was a return favor from Mr. Barack himself to endorse Hillary in 2016, which he's agreed to. It's been a little bit of a rocky relationship because, when another person doesn't like you, you don't have a tendency really not to like them. So we know Obama, probably hates Clinton just as much as Clinton hates Obama. Again, this is the vile nature of the snakes. They began attacking each other. They're carnivores, but they're eating each other. They're eating the human flesh. So it's very much a cannibalistic nature. And that's kind of how Satan works, I mean, just think about the darkest part of the underworld you can think of. And that's what's being presented to us in that world. A world where Americans are hoping that, our best interest is at heart, that they're looking out for us. But again, this is Republican and Democrat. I'm picking on the Democrats here, but this is completely bipartisan. And I'm going to read to some commentary specifically here from our Senator John McCain here out of Arizona, who Topher Morrison and I have joked we're going to get a doll and just beat it on the show. We're going to build a doll. Maybe one of you guys can do it for us. We're just going to beat it. And every time something goes wrong, damn it, John McCain. Damn it, McCain. Screwing stuff up again, you POW, POS. Here you got John McCain. He was supposedly this, war hero, POW, who just is always chomping on the bit to go kill more people. I mean, who knows the true motives behind all of this. But let me screen share this. I want you to read this. I touched on this a little bit in today's little video bloggerino, where I'm like, hello, everybody. Guess what's on the agenda? And I set a nice backdrop in black-white. Make it palatable for the people. And, so that they can kind of comprehend, like, yes, war. World War III, lies, led by Obama. Okay, Clinton endorsed. Yeah, we're going to elect Hillary even though they're promoting war. Yes. Death, destruction. We kind of have to backdoor into the mainstream. I've been doing this for years. I'm pretty darn good at it at this point. I know how to kind of push the buttons of the mainstream, get their panties in a bunch. I can't tell you the countless emails I get where people are like, literally, I shit my pants. I drove off a bridge last time I was listening to your show. I squirted out of my shorts because they can't handle reality. They can't handle the truth. And again, expect retaliation. I mean, God forbid, I pray. I hope and pray every night. Never happens. I love this country. I'm pro-America. I would do anything to protect her. I would gladly lay my life to protect this country, to protect this freedom, this great land that has been set up for all of us and really all people. Although imperfect, pretty darn great. But it is scary. It is vile. It is unbelievable where these people are leading us to. I've been talking for years about a path of self-destruction. This is what I meant. War with Syria? Yeah, that sounds like a damn good idea, Mr. President. You friggin' idiot. That sounds like a wonderful idea. Sounds like a horrible idea. Sounds like a friggin' joke. Worst Hollywood movie I've ever seen. Most of them tanking at the box office lately. So let's take a look at this together. Let me rein it in a little bit. Let me calm down a little bit because, again, I care. I care about what's happening to this country. I care about all the young kids losing their life overseas. I know a lot of vets. I know a lot of people served in Iraq and Afghanistan. I know a lot of people served in Vietnam. I know a lot of these people. And what are they putting themselves at risk for? What are they dying for overseas right now? Coming back after stepping on IEDs with their arms and legs blown off and their head all effed up because they've been getting shot at. What are these people fighting for? Is it freedom? Is it what was sold to them? Or are they fighting for these people? These vile SOBs attacking each other, cannibalizing each other, who just are only interested in themselves, their own psychosis, their own psychological, psychopathic desire to dominate the world, pad their pockets to billions plus of dollars. It's never enough. Give a billionaire $1 billion, he wants 2. Give him 2, he wants 4. Give him 4, he wants 10. If he's got a Learjet, he wants a bigger one. If he owns an island, he wants a planet. That's how these people work. It's ego. They have no emotion. They have no feeling. It's the same reason Bill Clinton's fisting Monica Lewinsky at the White House. And then defining is and what is. Lying to your freaking face. He has no common courtesy. He knows you're a dumb shit. He doesn't care. And that's why he can sit there with a straight face and put on an act as good as any Oscar performance, make you cry, push you, the sheeple, any way they want, right to slaughter. Right before they cut you open, serve you rare, and open up that bloody flesh and eat you for a nice steak dinner with their nice bottle of wine. That's who these people are. And that's the truth. Let's take a look at this article together. Screen share, baby. Screen share, Google. Bill Clinton. Obama risks looking like a wuss, a total fool, if he doesn't act on Syria. Encourage you to get this article out everywhere because this is green lighting and telegraphing the largest war that you have ever seen in your lifetime. This is World War III. I cannot stress enough. You want to see smoke fire? You want to see a war worse than Iraq and Afghanistan, the Persian Gulf, Vietnam, North Korea, World War I and World War II, then this is what we're looking at, folks. Tell your friends. Be the town crier. Share the good news of destruction at the hands of these people. Former President Bill Clinton offered a stinging critique of President Barack Obama's inaction in Syria during a closed press event this week, reported by Politico. He called Obama a total fool and a wuss if he's not to invade Syria. He says he must do what's unpopular, and I'm paraphrasing this a little bit. He says, this is a direct quote, "You look like a total wuss," he continued, "and you would be. I don't mean to be that a leader should go out of his way or her way to do the unpopular thing, etc., etc." So he wants him to do the unpopular thing. Take a quick poll. Take a quick poll. How many of you and your friends want the war? Raise your hand if you're sitting in your room, or maybe I'm blasting on your television at your workplace or something right now, or you're listening to me in your car. Honk your horn if you want war. And if you don't want war, don't raise your hand. In fact, raise your hand if you don't want war. You don't want death. You don't want destruction. You don't want any of this. And it goes on here, and basically Senator McCain, he sends out a tweet, and there was something specific I wanted to say about McCain, but basically just a total endorsement of these shenanigans, a total endorsement of this insanity. Let me look for this particular quote. It says, a report from the UN released Thursday found that nearly 93,000 people have been confirmed killed. So here again, we're getting the propaganda, the smoke screen, the sarin gas, the chemical warfare, et cetera, et cetera. They got to give us a reason for it. They can't just be honest, be like, look, we want to take shitloads of oil. We want to pad our pockets. We're sorry. We're just greedy Fs is what we are. They can't tell you that. So they got to sell it like, oh, it's a humanitarian issue. They'll sell it really peaceful, like, we're going to create peace by bombing Syria. Have a little angel hat, but really it's just kind of the devil sitting on their shoulder, like, we've got to go to Syria. It's a humanitarian effort. And the Democrats and the liberals just love this shit. They're like, Obama's such a good man. He's such a Christian, they'll say. What a good guy. Look at how he's gone into Syria and saved all those people with drone strikes. Isn't that amazing? And they always talk like this. I know so many liberals that talk like this. Like, oh yeah, I'm for freedom and all those things. Yeah, I really am. I'm for freedom and all those things. I just kind of don't think that you should have any. Yeah. I really, Social Security for everybody. I don't even think you should pay in. I think we should just socialize. Yeah, Obamacare's good. Yeah, those Republicans are crazy. Those capitalists, they're pretty crazy. Those right-winger Tea Party people,
Pretty crazy is what they'll say. Sometimes it's almost like you bitch, you cry, you moan, you expose the truth, you get it out there. And I believe, I don't just believe, I know that all of us are having a profound effect on the dialogue. Like I said, honestly, we're legitimately beginning to even influence some of the news cycle, at least a little bit. Creating wrinkles in people's heads, people sharing our videos, sharing our content, people blowing them up on their TVs like, wow, what's this? I've never seen this before. We're going to war? Unbelievable. We're being wiretapped? Unbelievable. This and that, and this is happening, and oh my God, the Federal Reserve does this, and they're printing, whoa, this is incredible. And all these people are connected, and oh my God, you mean Andrew Breitbart was really murdered? This is the truth. This is the friggin' truth. Don't say anything, and honestly, pay attention the next time you're on the phone. Like that video that's out there right now, I think it's a Funny or Die. They joked, they said you should speak terrorist talk now. That way it's confusing, and the data mining companies and the algorithm, the Google Glass, all this bullshit won't be able to interpret it, because it'll be like every American, millions of us, like terror, terror, terror. September 11th, Allah, long live Allah, a non-Muslim should die. War in Syria imminent. U.S. military proposal, this is from the Wall Street Journal, to arm rebels, includes a no-fly zone in Syria. USA Today, Syrian rebels pledge loyalty to Al-Qaeda. Well, that's a surprise. Why wouldn't they pledge loyalty to Al-Qaeda? The United States created Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda. America pledges allegiance to Al-Qaeda. A lot of very astute, well thought out academics, a lot of them, some of which don't just believe that September 11th was conjured by the powers of the United States government. Some of them won't even say believe. They say they have factual evidence of it. This is pretty incredible. When it begins to blow your mind to the point where you realize that your own government's literally killing you, and they're willing to do that, poisoning your food and your water, but then outright blowing you up too. It puts a whole new perspective on this, paints a whole new brushstroke and picture of who these people are. We lock up people that commit a crime at a 7-Eleven because maybe they're hungry and they steal a Twinkie and they're high on drugs or tweaked out or something like that, unfortunately. We lock those people up 3 strikes, they never get out of jail. These guys blowing up buildings, killing people, innocent civilians, whether or not it's here in the United States, people like Andrew Breitbart, or it's overseas, drone striking, a small village within the danger zone of a terrorist. Team America, F yeah, F yeah, F yeah. Pretty hard hitting, isn't it? Pretty real, isn't it? Pretty unbelievable. But guess what? It's not. It's reality. It's real life. And I know it's not cozy. It's not warm and fuzzy. It doesn't just warm up my heart like, let's have a little popcorn. And this is good news. A new war with Syria. Go, Obama, go. You do your thing, boy. You do your thing. I wonder if Oprah's still behind all this shit. I mean, she says she's this big humanitarian. I'd like to talk to her. In fact, the Oprah Winfrey Show contacted us this year as well. In fact, we get so many emails, we actually missed the email from O, if you can believe that. I've actually never shared that publicly. I have with some family and friends, and they're like, you idiot! You idiot! You could have been on the Oprah Show! People think we're not touching the mainstream media. We're touching them every day. Every single day. They don't know what to do. They're scared. They're scared. A little lowly guy out of his basement, which is how I grew this thing to what it is today, can have this much of an impact and make waves. Good is what I say. Good. Good. What movie was that from? Good. I hear that all the time. Good. More for us. Wasn't that like Will Ferrell in Wedding Crashers or something? Like, good. Yeah, we'll go crash a funeral. Good. So you know what, mainstream media? Good. Good. Glad you're scared. You should be scared of the people. You should be scared of the majority, of the lowly breadcrumbing groundlings actually waking up and being like, holy shit, you mean we're the ones that are empowered? We're in control? You mean we can just disengage from this establishment? We can utilize things like technology for our advantage or just shun technology completely. You're telling me we can operate independently? We don't need you? I mean, all of a sudden the light bulb's going off and it's just spreading like wildfire everywhere. Synapses, learning, consciousness. I mean, we're so ingrained in this technological world, sometimes I almost have out-of-body experiences. I'm like, am I alive anymore? Do I even exist? I've got like 18 cameras around me all the time. I've cell phones. We're freaking blogging and shit all over the place. I'm doing videos. I'm constantly editing content. I'm Skyping with our contributors, Topher Morrison. We're coming up with ideas. Half the time, I don't even know if I'm alive anymore. I'm like, man, maybe this really is the fallen planet. You know, I'm just kind of sinking lower and lower, like, oh, shit. It's just gotten to the point, what more can we do? What more can we say? I've always believed words, ideas, the most powerful weapon. More powerful than a nuclear bomb, an AK-47, right here. Love, more power than any weapon. Hope, more powerful than any weapon. Anything man-made. But we have to be realistic about where we are, too. We have to understand this isn't, oh, we're going to kind of turn it around. No, we're at the bottom of the ocean now. That doesn't mean we can't recreate and reinvent ourselves to a better future, take control, empower ourselves. I fully believe that. That's my hope. You know, some of you might say maybe that's foolish thinking, Christopher, but, you know, I don't think so. I think that that's a part of humanity wanting something better, wanting to preserve freedom, individual liberty, protect our families, our livelihood, our friends, grow something and be a part of something bigger than ourselves, leave a mark on the world and this planet that is bigger than you. That is, I mean, personally, that's what I hope and pray for. But it's so much bigger than a single person. You, me. We're all in this together. You realize these people we're killing overseas, they're our brothers and sisters. Yeah, some of these people really do legitimately hate us, want us dead. There are legitimate radicals out there. There are legitimate terrorists. There are people that want America to die. But these people are also our brothers and sisters, a lot of these people. We are all one family. We are all one world in a lot of respect. You know, you break us apart cellularly, and you break apart our DNA, and you see it, the beauty of how we function, we're not any different from one another. You know, they talk about this, too, in a war setting. You know, they talk about it a lot where, you know, there's a moment where some people, the more enlightened ones, they realize that the people that they're shooting at
are just like them. Have a wife, have a child, have hopes, have dreams. Most people typically want what's best for humanity. You know, if more people actually awoke to that and felt that and understood that in their hearts and their minds, we would put down the guns. You know, honestly, it's a last-ditch effort. And it's a last-ditch rallying cry for something to change, for something better. You have the power to do that. I can't do that for you. We need to hold ourselves accountable. We need to grow. We need to reinvent. We need to recreate. And those people that are doing things that are wrong and that are hurting others, we need to stand up to them as one. And we need to tell them no. And if they don't listen, we need to put a stop to it. I'm Christopher Green. Get this video out everywhere. Hard-hitting and in your face. Please share us. I love each and every one of you guys right here. Thank you for your support tremendously. There's nothing more special. And this has been one of the great experiences and blessings in my life. And I just want you to know how special that really is. So thank you. Stay strong, stay vigilant, hard-hitting and in your face. I love this country. Get it out there.